Hi girls. Hello. Hi. Hello there. Hi girls. Beep 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 beep. Hello, Matilda. Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. And welcome to this episode of Chicken Tuesday. Today I want to talk to you about this girl here. Hello Beryl. Because we've just had a bit of news about Beryl. I took her to the vet just earlier on today because she's been bumping into things and sort of missing when she's pecking. And unfortunately my suspicions have been confirmed that Beryl is partially blind. It's not that she's been blind all her days, but it's something that is gradually coming on her. She is pretty much, well, definitely blind in her left eye, and her right eye has some sight, but it's difficult to ascertain exactly how much sight. Yeah. So I've sort of had my suspicions for a while, to be honest, and I just wanted to get her checked out. So when you have a chicken that goes blind or partially blind, and there's no obvious, injury, it sort of sets alarm bells ringing, because one of the things that it could be or could have been is a disease called Marek's, and Marek's affects chickens in various ways. There's a particular version of it that puts tumours onto the inside organs. Another version puts tumours on nerves. Another one causes, it's called ocular Marek's, and it causes challenges with the eyesight, and ultimately the chicken will go blind. And that's what I was worried about, the potential for this being ocular Marek's. But took her to the vet, and it is a specialist avian vet that I use, and she had a look at her eyes, had a look at how she was getting around, and it's sort of difficult to assess a chicken's eyes, because they work slightly differently to mammals' eyes, I'm led to believe, and it's not, they don't instantly react when you sort of put something in front of their eye. They have more control over the muscles of their eyes. So you learn something new every day. Yeah, my vet had a good look at Beryl's eyes, and basically she's confident, she's as confident as she can be that it's not Marek's. She would expect to see other symptoms, and actually the look of Beryl's eye doesn't have a look of a hen that has ocular Marek's, because what will happen with that is the iris will become distorted and become grey. Now Beryl has grey rings around her pupils as part of her iris, and I was wondering if that had, if that was, you know, an indicator that she was going to, you know, she was getting Marex, but apparently not. Apparently, you know, hens' eyes present in different ways, and hers is fine. So we've ruled out Marex, we hope. And there's no sign of conjunctivitis or glaucoma or cataracts or other sort of inflammations and infections or whatever. So the vet just thinks it's a degenerative, age-related, potentially genetic-related loss of eyesight. I guess, you know, as people get older, their eyesight goes maybe not to the extreme of Beryl's here, but so I think it's just the luck of the draw for poor Beryl, that as she's getting older, her eyesight's going. So what do we do for her? There's nothing in particular from a medicine perspective that we have to give her. We just have to be aware of where she is walking and keeping things the same, so not putting obstacles up that she's not used to seeing. The good news is she's got a pal in Hamble there. Hamble is less sort of bouncy and active than the other hens, particularly the hens that are laying, and she's quite happy to buddy Beryl here, and you see them both just sitting at the back, quite the thing, at the back of this part of the run next to the dust bath. They do come out when I open the run to let the other girls out. Beryl shouts a lot, or you know, calls a lot, and I think it's maybe a confidence thing, so that she you know, she'll call and hopefully the others will call back to her. And when she is out, you know, I'm always there with her, and I'll call her if I want her to come in a particular direction, and she comes in that direction. So she's okay. She gets about the run. She gets between the runs. There's a step here. If I just look here, there's a step from one run into the other. Hello, Emily. And you can see in the background there the ramp up to the coop, and Beryl gets up there fine. In fact, she's always first to bed. So she gets around the run. She can find her way to the food and the water, and the girls aren't picking on her. There's been a couple of instances where the girls higher up the pecking order have given her a peck, and I think that is because Beryl holds her head quite high, I think, to get, you know, optimum eyesight, and that can be almost like a threatening behaviour to the other girls. But so just the odd little peck here and there, that is the thing that I'm most concerned about, because hens can turn on the, you know, weaker hens in the flock, and we don't want that to happen. If there was such a time as she was getting picked on, then I would just take her and probably Hamble here and pop them in a separate run and coop of their own, so that they could just live together and not get bullied, etc., by the other hens. Because Hamble here doesn't, you know, Hamble's actually one rung in the ladder below Beryl in the pecking order, or she is as it stands anyway, so she's not going to be threatening to Beryl. So yeah, so this pair are buddies, and Beryl's doing fine. We just need to give her a bit of special attention, and hopefully she will continue to be fine. As for the other girls, if I can find them, we're now allowed to let the girls out. The threat is much reduced, the avian influenza threat. So the tarpaulin is away, no tarpaulin. And I can open up the run when I'm out in the garden and let the girls out, and they're enjoying it immensely. Mind you, these three girls here are hanging about because I'm hanging about the run at the moment, so they're actually just digging in the stones down by the side of the potting shed there. But I dare say if I went into the main bit of the garden, they would follow me and enjoy themselves. Oh, here we go. Hi, girls. Hello. Oh, following me and I'm walking backwards. Hey, hello. Hello, Edith. Oh, and hello, Colin. It is a nice bright day today, but it's blooming cold. It's about 6 degrees. It's been really windy, as you can see here. Sorry, I've got an obstacle course for you there, darling. Oh, gold. Come on. Hello. Oh, breezy. Come on, Ems. Come on. Now, I have been tidying beds up in preparation for planting. And this one used to have some cabbages in, and it was all protected with mesh. The mesh is off, and Edith is jumping at the chance to have a good old dig about in here. She'll probably wreak havoc and have the compost all over the place.
Come closer, dance for me. Easy tiger, easy, let your hair down. Come closer, let me see all your million faces and all your million mistakes. You don't need to hide. Come closer so that we can be together.
So one of the challenges I face now that lockdown is over is that I let the girls back out into the garden to free range while I'm in the garden, and I always have to protect my plants because I grow lots of fruit, flowers and veg, and the chickens love nothing better than eating my fruit, flowers and veg. So this year I'm trying to improve the barriers that I use to keep the girls off the beds. I don't want them to be on. And you can see there, the girls are standing next to one of my new barriers. I've built this fence. I'm quite pleased with it actually. And what I did was I purchased some pressure treated fencing stabs. So they're basically pointy at the bottom and flat at the top. And then a roll of this plastic mesh. And then got out my staple gun. And then just stapled the mesh to the posts and then bashed the posts in with a hammer. And so I now have a fairly aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it's better than, this is the sort of thing I did before, you know, a couple of bamboo canes and some mesh. So I think it's more aesthetically pleasing. And it's going to be, well, it is effective because most of my girls are too lazy to jump over things. The only girl that I expect might try to get over this, it's, how tall is it? 30, 40 centimetres, 50 centimetres maybe. And the only girl that I expect to try is Edith, who is still over there digging in that bed. Because she's very oriented to getting into beds and, oh, windy. Yeah, she's very focused on jumping into beds and seeing if there's anything exciting to eat. But as long as I keep enough space for them to roam and to dig, then just the 2 or 3 beds that I'm going to protect with this, I think should be okay. Now over behind me here, there's a huge border, and the girls can get in there and dig about to their heart's content. You know, they can dig out under the bushes, they can make dust baths, and they do. They can have a great old time in there. So there's plenty of places for them to do their chickenly things. So I think it's only fair that I can keep them off of some of the beds. And the other good thing about the way that I've done it is you can see through, so you can see the plants and you can see the flowers through there. So I'm not blocking it off. So from a sort of garden aesthetic perspective, you're able to see the plants in the bed. That's the plan anyway. Obviously there's not that much happening in here right now, but there will be soon enough. I also, of course, use the mesh on its own. Put little tubes around the different pots, since I use a lot of pots in my gardening. And that's to protect things that I definitely don't want them to be eating, such as this is a potato here. Oh, and this one's just blown off because of the wind. This lives around here. Oh, there we go. I need to tie that one on. Hi, Benno.